Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Aysh Banaysh, and in this video I'm just going to be telling you about my first week at uni as a mature student. Going to uni is daunting for anyone, and like most people when they're about to do something for the first time, I watched YouTube videos on how to do it first. The problem I found though is most of the videos were geared towards school leavers going straight to uni or people who are going to live in halls. And even the videos from mature students that I watched, they didn't really tell me what I wanted to know. I'm not sure if this video is going to contain what I wish the other ones did, but I thought I would just make a video on my experience of my first week at uni. When I say first week at uni, I do literally mean my first week at uni. It was like a welcome induction week. I haven't had any lectures yet, but I thought since this is like a whole new experience, I could just make videos going along on how things are going because I have nothing better to do with my time right now. So yeah, this week was my university's welcome week and I finally started my university journey as a mature student. Now, I have never been to university before, like it's not something I did after school and then dropped out and now I'm going to come back to it. I've never been, and I had no idea what to really expect. Like, I've been to other people's universities, like my friends, I know kind of what to expect, but I think things are different when you're a mature student. And even the friends I have that are mature students, I think like what their experience of university is and what mine is are going to be a little bit different. First off, to give you some context, I'm going to uni to do a psychology degree, and I haven't been in formal education since 2015 when I did an NCTJ, which is like some journalism thing. And you know, even before that, like all my like level 3, which is like A-level equivalent qualifications, they're all a bit scattered. Like I have ASs, I have a level 3 in music business, I have an apprenticeship, I have like different random things, but none of it is really consolidated in one area. So yeah, I've never really studied something so in depth. I haven't been in education for a while. Like even the fact I got into uni and found a uni that would, you know, take me was like a bit mad to me. I didn't realize I could still do that, and I don't think I always knew that that was necessarily an option for me without having to do like an access course or, you know, something like that. So yeah, that is the context of me going to uni. My nerves for uni were kind of split across like adjusting back to this formal education lifestyle and socializing. That's the one. My brain went completely blank. So yeah, those were my big key areas of worry before starting uni. And in terms of socializing, I did have some comfort in the uni I go to. Like I think it's like 50 to 60% of their students are mature or something like that. Like it's a fair amount, and by mature they mean like 21 plus, so it kind of varies. But yeah, those are my worries going to uni. But since the first week of uni isn't a teaching week, it is a welcome and induction week, I didn't have to worry about the first one for this week. I just had to worry about socializing. I think everyone worries about meeting new people at uni, and like everyone is nervous. But I mean, as someone who is suspected autistic and has social anxiety, I feel like my experience was probably a bit heightened, and therefore my experience with my induction week may not be the same as like what another mature student might experience. But I guess there are always going to be differences between everyone's individual experience, but I just thought I would make a video on mine. I did get a bit lucky with the timing of starting university. Like I did think about starting last year and doing like an OU course, but for various reasons I did not start last year and I ended up applying to an actual uni. And I feel like I got lucky with the timing because my younger brother is 18 and he's just left school. So he is also starting uni this academic year. So although we're going to different unis and we're doing different degrees, and his experience is very much going to be more the typical school leavers, living in halls kind of experience, and mine's one of a mature student, it's been quite nice that over the summer we've both sort of been preparing for this chapter of our lives. And even though there's that massive age gap, it's just nice to have someone else doing it with me, kind of like I would have if I had gone straight after school. But when it came to starting university, I was up first, so I felt a little bit more alone this week, having my welcome week, whereas he doesn't have his till next week. But yeah, had to dive in there on my own. So yeah, the actual welcome week. My welcome week consisted of 2 days that were 10:30 to 4, but I know it varies depending on your degree. So someone else I know at my uni, they had a 3-day welcome week. But yeah, mine was 2 days. I'd already enrolled and I already had my student ID and my student email address, so there wasn't much in the way of admin to do. And the description for the day wasn't like super clear. It was just a load of bullet points of the kind of things we would cover, like going over course details and meeting module leaders. But it wasn't like a breakdown of what was going to happen in the day or anything like that. It was just a bit of an overview. So I didn't really know what to expect. Annoyingly, my first day was actually already off to a bad start because like 2 weeks before, the people who like run the building I live in posted a thing through my letterbox to say that they were turning the water off in the morning on of my first day of uni. So I had to get up extra early to like shower and wash my hair and stuff, and then it just gave me more time to overthink. And by the time I was due to leave to actually go to uni, I had overthought so much and I was so anxious that I was just back in bed. Like I was fully dressed, but I was just back in bed because I just didn't want to go. But at about 10:07, bear in mind I start at 10:30, I decided it was time to leave the house. And yeah, I started walking to uni, which is what I had planned to do. But then, so I didn't have to rush so much and I wasn't going to be like a rushing mess. I grabbed the bus on the way just to save me a bit of time. And I got there on time. So I kind of felt like, oh, I can actually leave quite late and still be on time. Which is probably a bad thing to know on your first day. When I got there, I was faced with another dilemma of finding the entrance. Like, universities are massive places and I could not find the entrance. And then I did find the entrance, and my reward was a lanyard and a tote bag full of some really underwhelming goodies. So after I got those, I tried to find where I needed to be. And I found the lecture hall I needed to be in. And on the landing, I plucked up the courage to say something to someone. So I just said to the nearest person to me, I just said, "Are you here for psychology too?" And they just said, "Yeah, I am, but as staff." And after that, I just shut up. I went to find a seat and I just sat in silence. They spent that morning going over some pretty standard introductory stuff, like welcoming us to the university. Like we drew a pig. We went over bits about the course and the uni as a whole. Nothing like you will like die if you don't know, and nothing you couldn't have read or like probably did read before you went. And I found that quite annoying, because if you're expecting us to be intelligent enough to come to uni and get a degree, do you not think we have the initiative to read the pre-provided material of like what the uni is like and what the course is like? Maybe not everyone does that, but that's someone else's choice. So for me, who had read those things and kind of knew a lot of this stuff anyway, I found it really annoying to just have to sit and be told it again and be told that it was very important that I sit there. So yeah, it was really boring, which at least distracted me from my anxiety. Like being bored and being hungry at least made me feel a bit less anxious about being in a new place. But yeah, it wasn't anything that, you know, you'll be upset if you missed. They gave us breaks in the day, and I did have some more awkward social encounters around vending machines and things like that. And also another thing I'll say is take some coins. I'm not a cash person, so I never have cash of any kind, but take some coins, because not all vending machines accept card, and sometimes when they do, the card bit isn't working. But Unis seem to have vending machines, and I am not a breakfast person, so my advice to anyone is to take some coins if you think you want to eat something from the vending machine. Yeah, so it was a pretty standard like introductory morning and very awkward and stuff. And then it got to lunch, and by lunchtime I had some people to talk to. We kind of just ended up talking all by not having spoken really to anyone else. And I've now got like a little group of people to sit with. Lunchtime they had like some trucks and like food places, like I guess for freshers or whatever. They weren't that exciting and the queues were mad, so I didn't bother. I got some on-campus chips that were terrible, which is quite heartbreaking, but also probably a good thing, because if they were good I would probably end up eating them too much, especially with how convenient and how cheap they were. So yeah, it was like underwhelming, but almost in a good way. Maybe other unis are better with it. Maybe like there are more things unis do. Like my friend said on his first day of uni he held a fucking duckling. I did not see any duckling, but you know, maybe my uni is just not a duckling uni. I don't know. Like someone has told me my uni is shit this week, so maybe that's the case. But yeah, I was kind of glad it was underwhelming, because I think if there had been too much going on, it would have just been a bit too much for me. And I think if there's too many activities, you're not forced to talk to anyone. Like the only reason I spoke to people is because there was silence. And if you're always doing something in these welcome weeks, you're not going to talk to anyone. And I think that's also kind of like a bit of a down point with like their introductory thing, is they just kind of like, I don't want to say drone on for ages, but drone on for ages. And everyone would be more attentive if they kind of relaxed a bit first. At least that's my 2 cents. Because I definitely feel like the second part of the first day I was more engaged. And I mean, fair enough, we did a quiz. But I feel like I definitely like took in more of what was going on, because I wasn't like anxious, well, so anxious. The second day was pretty similar to the first, apart from the fact that I already kind of knew who I could sit next to, or not who I could sit next to, but who I would sit next to, or whatever. And like we got told a load of support information about the uni and support services that are available, that again, you know, is all like all the information about those services is all stuff that was already given to us before the welcome week. So it was more regurgitation and very boring. But yeah, they also then went through some things like software and stuff, which also didn't find super helpful. But I know other people will. Like, I'm quite tech savvy. I don't need to know how to install Microsoft Office. I can do that in a heartbeat. I think for maybe more mature students than I am, that might have been a lot better, or like, or I don't even think the younger students need to be trained on this stuff, because they did it all through Corona in school. Like, you know, the online kind of Microsoft Teams aspect of uni. But yeah, fairly boring times. I personally didn't do any like activities during welcome week or anything like that, because I am like a socially anxious person. Like, I didn't go to anything after the first day or anything. After the second day we went to Wendy's, but you know, it wasn't like a massive social thing. It was just a small social thing. And I'm just not that kind of person. So if that's what you want to know about, I'm not the person to tell you about that. Like, it was all right as a welcome week. I am a bit like, I need to make some friends my age, because all the people I've spoken to are like 18, 19. And like, I feel like I'm quite good at, you know, talking to people younger than me, and it's not really a problem, especially with my brother's age. But I do feel like I want to talk to some people more my age who are maybe more like of the same mindset I am, where I'm taking it a bit more seriously than maybe school leavers are, because I've like paused my life to come back and do this. This video started really in depth and then I just got bored at the end. But it's also just like there's not much I can really say. It's more of a vlog than like what to expect, really. So maybe that's what I will label it as. But that is how my first week of uni went. Next week lectures start, and I have 3 days that I like need to go into uni. I've had my timetable and everything for a while, but it does keep changing. So if you are starting uni and you've got like a online timetable thing, keep checking it, because that mine keeps changing. But it's kind of annoying because like the way my timetable's laid out, every day I'm in ends at 6. And I'm not an early morning person at all, but I'd probably rather get up early than end every day at 6. Like if I'm not there the whole day, it kind of feels like I could have done something else with that day. At least if I had that lecture in the morning, I could have done something in the afternoon to evening. Whereas if it's in the middle of the day and ends at 6 or whatever, or in the afternoon, it just breaks up the whole day and it limits what you can do with it. But I guess, you know, that is the kind of thing with committing to full-time uni, is you're supposed to use that time to study. And I'm kind of more excited to start lectures than I am for welcome week or anything like that. Like I'm way more interested in actually getting learning. I don't know if that's the typical experience of going to uni, and whether I will regret saying this in like a few weeks and I'll be like, no, I don't want to start learning. I don't want to do this shit. And it will be really hard and difficult. But yeah, I think where I'm kind of nervous for the whole learning aspect of uni isn't so much about like course content, but more about course management, to go to uni and manage your studies and all of that kind of stuff. That is kind of what daunts me about the learning part and going back into education and making that adjustment and stuff. But I'm just gonna try and be really on top of it. Like I got an iPad mini yesterday, like one of the new ones, so I'm going to be using that for uni. I know not everybody thinks you should use an iPad for uni, but yeah, I am going to. And I like have got things in my calendar and I'm trying to be on top of what books I am gonna need and blah blah blah. But yeah, there's not a lot more I can really say until I get into that thing. So I think, yeah, on that note, I will make this a series and we will start uni as mature students together. Because I don't want to do it alone. And yeah, that will be fun. And it will also make me like have to make content, which will hopefully make me make other content. If you made it this far in the video, you probably either really care about what my welcome week was like, or you've got your own welcome week coming up potentially. And I'm not really an advice person right now. I don't have advice for most people. But the one thing I'll tell you to remember, if you're in the same boat as me, and I had to remind myself, I've had to remind my brother, and it's so obvious, but it's so easy to forget. Everyone is fucking nervous. Like, everyone. I think some of the professors were nervous to be back, especially after COVID and all of that kind of stuff. I think, you know, even people who came there with other people were nervous because they didn't know everybody else and they didn't know what the actual uni part of it was going to be like. Like, it takes a particular kind of person to be able to go into that situation and not be nervous. So maybe when you're looking around and you see someone looking at you and then they look away so that you don't know that they're looking at you, maybe they are also thinking, shall I talk to this person? I haven't spoken to anyone, or blah, blah, you know, that maybe they're thinking just what you're thinking is what I'm trying to blim and say. Yeah, on that note, I think this is the perfect time to end the video. I am hoping to film an update like literally in a week after I've had my first week of lectures, and then I think I will film another update maybe in like a month. Does that sound good? If you have any questions or any like thing to say, drop it down in the comments down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you do have questions, I will either answer you there and then, or if I think it's worth it, I'll put it in the like update to this video once I've had my first week of lectures. But yeah, good luck to me with my first week of lectures. Thank you very much. And I will see you next week.